What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Now, yesterday did not go according to plan. It was not exactly what we wanted to see from Juventus as they had a 0-0 draw at Sampdoria. It was unfortunate circumstances and unfortunate coaching. We'll talk about that, as well as there's a lot of news to break down today. Moves are being made in the Mercato. Are they good moves? Well, that's up to you to decide. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro, and today it is Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022. Of course, I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you care about each and every day. Before we do anything though, do me a favor, smash that like button. Hulk, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Let's get into it. We're going to have to run through this one. It's a long one. It's a doozy. I don't know if I even have the energy for it after yesterday, but we'll see. All right. Very first up, let's go ahead and talk about the comments made by Mattia Panini. Usually I would lead it in with Agresti, or not Agresti, sorry Agresti, don't mean to do that to you, Allegri in his comments, but I feel like his have to come second. First off, Mattia Panini says it's a draw that must serve us to understand the areas for improvement to take these games home in the future. At Juve, it's important to win. It leaves a bitter taste in our mouth, but it must be a constructive draw. Coming to play here is never easy. The environment is very warm, and Sampdoria plays well and has shown that. We also look at things from the point of view we know we have to do more. We will do everything we can to improve and take things out of this tie. We have to accept the result and move on. The reason I bring this up, it's a whole lot of nothing. It means nothing. It's absolutely useless commentary, right, by the players. The reason I say this is what you get with the Juventus machine. This is what you get when it comes to Juve and the management or whoever it is that gives them their talking lines. They give them nothing. You go out there, you read the company line, you say it. There's no passion. There's no character. It's just a phrase. You're just giving nice words. You're just giving pleasant words. I'm sorry. That does not sit well with fans. Go out there. Show that you're pissed. Show that you didn't say, air your grievances, right? That's my frustration. That's what I want to see from players. I want to see you bleeping heated. I want to see you upset, and I want you to tell me this is not good enough. I mean, you're saying it's not good enough, but you're not showing it. There's no passion there. To me, it's literally just, again, Leonardo Bonucci comes out. I mean, I don't know if he did it yesterday, but he always does. He has that same phrase that, we'll come back tough or whatever. No, there needs to be some. I understand what, the idea of putting out there is everybody's just a well-oiled machine, and you're obviously not a well-oiled machine because you're not clicking at all on all cylinders. But at the same time, you want to put it out there like it's a business trip. You handle it professionally. I'm sorry, they're professional, but sports are also emotion-driven. It's why you have fans. It's why you have fanatics. I need more. I need more fire from my players, and I sure as hell need more fire from my coach. And we're going to talk about our coach. We got a little bit of fire. I don't know if it's the good kind. Let's talk about it now. Okay, let's go into it. Max Allegri had his comments that he said, various sources, we combined all these together. Dazen, I believe also he was on. Nico Bellice had a comment from there, a couple other guys. But anyway, Max Allegri overall said these comments. He said, there is something you should never do in football, which is to run backward. We had a good second half, a pity because we left 2 points behind. In the first half, we had little patience and Sampdoria run a lot. In the second half, Vlahovic played better. He has to stay center and protect the ball. Okay, it's fine. I'll accept that. It's fine. You say whatever. It's always deflecting to a player, right? It's never deflecting to hey, I'm not doing good enough. What I'm not doing is what's causing us games, right? It's always deflecting to a player. Goes on to say the club takes care of the market. We have to work. We started better than last year. We must also see the positive things. Milik and Rovella played well. Then it's normal that we have to improve. Milik and Rovella played well. Then why the hell are neither of those players playing most of the game? Why the hell you have Weston McKennie, who looked like a bum yesterday, Locatelli playing out of position? It was fairly useless because you continued to play him as a regista when he does not thrive there. And then, of course, playing Adrian Rabiot, your son, who I think is fairly useless, to be honest. I mean, yeah, it's fine. He had a fake goal, a goal that never happened, and you're probably going to hang your hat on that. It's fine. We'll see. To go off of that, too, as well, I think Milik got in around, the 60th minute, something like that. Rovella didn't get until, the final 10, 15 minutes or something like that. Why? I mean, I know why. It's because you won't play youth players, but at the same time, and also you're going to crush them. You're also going to crush youth players for the minor mistakes that they do. You're going to say, hey, they're youth players. They're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. But then you're going to crush them and then use that as a reason never to use them again. And that's what I get pissed off about. Because if you ask me, Milik was the best damn player on the pitch yesterday. Milik was the only reason that goal-scoring opportunity occurred. Juventus need Milik. Milik could be a guy, if you want a homegrown talent guy that can actually stick around, that's your dude. Go all in on Milik, right? He goes on to say, we have Pogba and Chiesa out. There is the insertion of the new ones, and there is great intensity and his desire to do something important. Okay, that's fine. Continue to use Pogba and Chiesa's injuries as excuses for why the team's not playing well. Anyway, Max Allegri continues to talk and says, football, it's very simple. You have to pass the ball between those of the same jersey. We have not conceded a goal in 2 games, and that is good. First half, we didn't occupy the box well. We did better in the second half. Rabiot scored tonight, but was unlucky. Of course, there he goes. There he goes with the Rabiot. Was unlucky because Vlahovic was narrowly offside. When the game started to turn sour, he was strong. He's a player that Juventus need. There's your line of thinking. There's the line of thinking that Max Allegri has, is that Adrien Rabiot is a player that Juventus needs. I don't think I need to make a comment off of that. That's just the thinking of your coach. You're thinking your coach thinks Adrien Rabiot is a player Juventus needs. Your coach thinks that Mattia De Sciglio is a player that your team needs. Your coach thinks that Rugani is a player that your team needs. That's what he thinks. Instead of playing, the guys that would be better suited in the midfield. A Milik, a Rovella, even a Fagioli in the situation. I'll give it to the Fagioli stands. There you go. God, did I really just say that word? I'm way too old to be saying that. Anyway, and then also to Gatti. To me, I think Gatti is a better player. I think he's a much better player than Rugani. I put it in on Gatti, which is a weird phrase for me to say, but you know what I mean. All right, let's continue on. Next up, and here's the comments, and I don't know, I made some weird sound. But anyway, Max Allegri says, I needed quality in certain areas, and Milik has those qualities, compared to Zakaria, who remained on the bench by technical choice. That's kind of a burn on Zakaria. God damn. All right, he goes on to say, I went crazy when I saw Milik running backwards. These are the things that have to be taught to young players instead of making them learn patterns. Young players need to be taught how to play football. And dear Lord, this is Max Allegri, and this is his line of thinking, and this is why the youth, I don't know what they're doing here. Honestly, if I'm being honest, if I'm looking at this and this is the way that Max Allegri treats the youth players, players like Milik, players like Fagioli, players like Rovella, and I'm sorry, using Rovella in the same boat as those two, because obviously he's played more Serie A than any of them. But at the same time, the fact that he refuses to use these players that have shown that they at least inject something when they come into the game, and then he treats them like this, he throws them directly under the bus, like, I would almost be headed for the hills. I'd be like, okay, loan me out. We're going to go. Loan me out until your tenure is done, sir. Loan me out until next season. Next season, I'll come back whenever there's a new coach. Then hopefully he'll see the potential in me. Hopefully Italiano, whoever it is, will see the potential in me. I don't know. All right. Then we have another comment. He said, I think this is the one from Nico Bellice. He said, we hope to recover, if not in November, at least in January, Chiesa and Pogba. So there's your timeline update, that at least both of them should be back by January. So what happened to I guess it means fully to have them both back. I'm hoping that doesn't mean that there's a slip up when it comes to Pogba. We'll see. Something to keep an eye on right now. All right, then moving on, we have Max Allegri. Other updates there, basically Sky Sports saying Allegri will meet with the club today regarding the Mercato. I thought the club takes care of that. I thought the management takes care of that. I didn't think Max Allegri was involved, right? I thought his hands were clean. I thought his hands were washed. And the reason is Max Allegri has no spine when it comes to the actual Mercato. When it comes to talking with journalists, Juventus only want the handpicked journalists who are going to let their narrative get out there. Which is, I expect that and I understand that. But at the same time, Max Allegri, a lot more coaches have some backbone to say, this is what I need. I need this, and this. Go get that. And instead maybe this is what Max wants. Maybe Max wants the player we're going to talk about today, which would be, to me, a trash Mercato. But we'll see. We'll talk about it. All right, let's continue. Next up, let's talk about those youth players, and one of them is Fagioli, who now potentially could be looking at moving on loan somewhere for the season. Romeo Guidetti is reporting that context between Juventus and Fagioli's entourage is expected in the coming hours. Most likely option, loan at a club that can provide him with substantial minutes. And then just to follow that up, we have Nico Schietta basically saying that not only for Cremonese for Fagioli, but Sampdoria and Empoli have also shown interest in signing Fagioli from Juventus on loan. Open talks. There's different options there. My only thoughts that when it really comes to this, I think Fagioli being the one that goes out on loan would be the most, would probably be the best situation for everybody. For Juventus and for Fagioli, hopefully he can continue to develop, but then also for Juventus, if they end up deciding to keep Rovella and Milik, that's still yet to be seen. But also, it irks, I don't want to say irks me, but it's a little bit odd, personally, that Fagioli would be moving out, given that it seemed that Juventus had put they promised that Fagioli would see playing time if he renewed and that he would be staying with Juventus. So that does irk me a little bit just because you're backtracking on your promises, unless this is Fagioli who's pushing for it. So we'll see. There's something to keep an eye on. All right, let's continue on, though. We're going to get to the main story of the day, I promise. Romeo Agresti commenting on the Mercato moves, basically saying that Juventus will try until the end to get Paredes, as well as through some intermediaries, Juventus is now back in the market looking for left-back options. So I would love to comment on that. I've done videos in the past. I feel like also Juventus, there's been enough of a smokescreen when it comes to the players and the attack, Depay and all that situation. And now, like, I can't do the fake vomit every day because at this point, it may be a reality. And I may be doing this every day on the channel as he's playing. That's where we're at, guys. I don't know. Anyway, through some intermediaries, Juventus is back in the market looking for left back. So we'll see who it is they go after. Keep an eye on that. All right, let's get into the main story of the day. And of course, that's why you're probably here, talking about what's going on with the attack. Memphis Depay, is that happening, or is it the other guy? Well, we have some updates there. Sky Sport reporting that Juventus have a verbal agreement with Marseille for Milik, €2 million loan deal plus the option to buy at €8 million. So all that's laid out. They have the financial figures. That doesn't mean that he's coming right away, but that definitely is the start to the negotiations. Di Marzio continues that trend and says in the latest hours, Juve found an agreement with Marseille for Milik through a €2 million loan and an option to buy at $8 million. There is the okay between the clubs, which will bring the Polish closer to a return in Serie A, this time with a Bianconeri shirt. Then we follow that up. I'm just going to read through these because there's a few of them. Di Marzio saying now the Bianconeri club should figure out what to do. Depay or Milik. The club will discuss it with Allegri, which is that report, I guess, him meeting with the management today, to know on which they should invest and sign. Once they pick the strategy, the Bianconeri will decide on who to focus. Let's continue that trend on, and let's go ahead with Romeo Guidetti, his comments on the situation, saying that Allegri, since day one, wants a player profile like a Milik. And I don't know, that's telling. To me, that's telling. On the club, on Max Allegri, okay, well, let's continue. Let's read through these. I apologize, guys. I'm almost speechless when it comes to Juventus actually moving for a Milik. Like, this is where the club is. Moving for a player like Milik. Not a Memphis Depay, not a Raspadori, not another kind of striker. I mean, we talk about Timo Werner, we got all the other options that have been floated out there. Freaking Milik. I almost cussed during the daily video. I'm sorry. Sorry for cussing. All right. Compared to the agreement, Depay's entourage changed the demands, but I believe in the end, Juve will make a decision based on the technical aspect. Continue on. Mercato Natale gives us a little bit of hope, a slight, tiny bit of hope before it's ripped away. Mercato Natale, who I know when it comes to sourcing, sometimes tap in. But he says on Milik, there are no steps forward made between Juve and Marseille. The Bianconeri so far have not yet made any official offers to the player. The first name of the attack always remains Memphis Depay. And that would be a great situation, a fantastic situation. Until moments ago, we have an update, once again from Di Marzio and Sky Sports, saying the increasing possibility the name is Milik in the attack for Juventus. So that's where we sit with it. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you want Milik Do you like Milik? Is there anybody who's a Milik fan? Is there anybody who says, oh, that's a good get? That one makes sense. That's good for us to be competitive. Napoli scraps, a player that Napoli forced out of the club, and now that's playing over there for a second-tier team over there in the French league. That's what we need. That's what Juventus need. You know what? Flipping give me Mario Balotelli instead. I'm not even joking. I mean, you know I love Mario Balotelli, but I usually say it in jest. I'm being serious when it comes to this. Give me Balotelli instead of Milik. I'll be honest. I mean, you know, it's hyperbole, but at the same time, I'd rather not have a player than have Milik. I've also seen reports that Juve could potentially go after Memphis Depay and Milik if they send Moise Kean off. Just get Depay. Keep Moise Kean. I'd rather have Moise Kean than to have Milik. No thanks. I do not want this player at the club. It's probably going to happen. I'm going to bitch and moan about it, and there's my cuss word of the day. I don't know what else to say or do. This is where the club is. This is where the standards are. The standards for Juventus are through the floor right now. I'm speechless. And I'm speechless at the lack of ambition that the club has right now. This is where we are. Juventus is not serious about competing for a Scudetto. Juventus is not serious about competing for a Serie A title, which I just said, or a UCL. Juventus, in essence, is not serious. That'll do it for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. You can follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter, and of course you can follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri. Say hello to your old lady for me.